Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I want to come by and share something with you that I never shared before. And it's pertaining to faith, having your faith. And it's also pertaining to when I gave my life to Christ. So I'm going to read Romans chapter 8:28, and it reads, "And we know all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to his purposes." So this is going to be my first time sharing how the Lord saved me. It was something very powerful, and let me put my Bible book over here. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the year. So the year that I was saved was back in 1997. So that was like 28 years ago. So I got saved. The Lord saved me. And it was a beautiful experience. I was going through some things at the time. I knew I was saved. And it's really hard to explain how the Lord saved me. But like I said, it was annoying. It's like I knew that the Lord had delivered me from some things that I was going through. And it started off when I was in my hometown. I was married to my ex-husband. He was an alcoholic. And I was dealing with some depression, because I knew it was depression because I was always having bad headaches. And it got to the point where it got so bad that I had to tell my mother how I was feeling. So she suggested that I take my 2 children and go away for a while to think things through. But even though she told me that, I wasn't thinking that I was going to be away for a while, but I was planning on, going back home. But it turned out that when I was living with one of my sisters, and I was reading the Bible because I was really going through a lot. And one of my other sisters had called me and wanted me to fly to California. But I was afraid because I never had flown in a plane before. So she convinced me to fly in the plane, go to California. But I told her, let me think about it. Let me pray. So and she was praying. So then she called me back and told me that she was praying, and she knew, like she had known that the Lord wanted her to call me back for me to go to California. So she was telling me about the plane and, don't be afraid and everything, because that was my first time flying on a plane. But somehow I told her, yeah, I'll do it. And then I knew it was the Lord, because that he wanted me to go to California, because when we were, she was trying to, pay for my ticket to go to California. The price of the ticket was cheap. It was at a low price, and usually it'd be high. So that's when I knew I had to go. I had to go to California. So then I packed up my daughters and we got on a plane, went to California. So while we was in California, I started going to church more. I started, praying with my sister, because she was saved. She is saved, but she was praying for me, and I was going to church regularly with her. So we was always up at night reading the word, praying, and going to the church praying. And then one day we were praying, and then it was like the Lord really touched me. It's like his spirit was all on me, and that's how I knew I was saved. So but during that time, I was still thinking about going back to my ex-husband. But we were praying, still praying, and she was praying, and she was like, the Lord didn't bring you here to go back home. And I'm glad I didn't, because we had got a phone call that someone said that if I go back to him, he was going to hurt me and everything. And so I decided, so I knew then too that it wasn't meant for me to go back to him. But while I was in California, he found out that I really wasn't coming back home. So then I had to go to court. So then I had to go back home, because I had my kids, and he was, saying that I took the kids away. But of course I won the case. I won custody of my kids. But I just want to say that it is a long story. It's a long story, and all I know is that the Lord saved me, and my life hasn't been the same since. I still was going through some challenges, and I had a few setbacks, but I kept pressing on. I kept not giving up. And that's how we have to have faith. We have to have faith. I had faith and knew that the Lord was by my side, and then he was providing for me and my kids. And he's still doing it today. So if anyone is, going through some challenges, and you don't have enough faith to know that the Lord is going to provide for you, he will. Because I've been through it, and I know he's going to provide. Because he cares. That's how much he cares. That's how much he cares for us. And so yeah, this is my first time really talking about when I got saved. So I pray that you just keep pressing on, staying in the word, pray, and know that God is always there for you. But you gotta have faith, and you got to keep pressing on. Don't give up, because I'm still not giving up on Jesus, and he's still working some things out. So that's all I want to come by and share. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you again. Bye.